Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that is a total game changer for anyone who teaches anything. We're talking about how to take those fuzzy, kind of vague learning goals and make them so sharp and so clear that you can actually see the learning happen. So let's dive right in.
This is the big question, right? It doesn't matter if you're a teacher in a classroom or a parent at home. You set up a great activity, you have all the best intentions, but when it's all said and done, how do you really know that the lesson stuck? And this right here, this slide shows exactly what I mean. On the left, you've got this super common goal. The child will learn about cars. Okay, sounds good. But what does learn actually look like? It's foggy, it's unclear. But now, look over at the right. When given miniature cars, the child will count to at least 5 cars. See that? The fog is completely gone. You know the setup, you know the action, and you know exactly what the target is.
Right, so how do we get from that foggy goal to one that's crystal clear? Well, there's a really powerful tool that's designed to do just that, to make learning something you can literally see. It's called a behavioral objective. And you got to pay attention to those two key words, specific and observable. This isn't about guessing what a kid might know or understand deep down inside their head. Nope, this is all about describing an outcome, a behavior that they can physically show you. It's about making that invisible learning visible.
And this quote just nails it. A well-constructed behavioral objective leaves little room for doubt. When a goal is written this well, everybody is on the same page. The teacher, an assistant, a parent, anyone can read it and know exactly what success is supposed to look like. There's just no guesswork.
And the best part is that creating these super clear objectives isn't some complicated mystery. It actually follows a really simple 3-part formula. Honestly, you can just think of it like a recipe for the perfect learning goal. So here they are, the 3 main ingredients. First, you have the conditions. That's basically your setup. Second, you have the behavior. That's the specific, observable action you want to see. And third, you've got the degree. That's your standard for success. So, one more time, conditions, behavior, degree. Let's break each of those down.
All right, part 1, the conditions. This is all about setting the stage. It describes what the child will have, what instructions they're given, or what the environment looks like. It almost always starts with a phrase like, when given a bucket of blocks, or after observing a demonstration. It's the what's happening first part.
Okay, now for part 2, the behavior. This is the absolute heart of your objective, and picking the right word here is everything. We have to avoid those vague verbs like know, learn, or remember, because you can't see someone knowing something. Instead, you need strong action verbs. You can see a child count. You can see them build a tower or sort shapes. The big question you have to ask yourself is this: what will the child physically do?
And here's a super simple but really important rule to remember. The behavior part of your objective, that action part, it always starts with the exact same phrase. The child will. The child will count, the child will sort, the child will point to. It keeps the focus right where it needs to be, on what the child is doing.
And finally, we get to part 3, the degree. You can think of this as the finish line. It tells you exactly what counts as done or successful. How many? How often? For how long? It could be something like at least 5 cars, or 4 out of 5 times, or maybe for at least 45 seconds. This is the piece that makes the whole thing truly measurable. Okay, so we've got our 3 ingredients: conditions, behavior, and degree. You ready? Let's actually put them all together now and build one of these objectives from the ground up. We're going to start with our conditions. We're setting the scene. What are we giving the child to work with? In this case, a bunch of miniature cars. So our objective kicks off with, when given miniature cars.
Perfect. Next up, let's add the behavior. What's the specific action we're looking for? We want the child to count. So, following our rule, we add the child will count. So now we have, when given miniature cars, the child will count. And to finish it all off, we just need to add the degree. How will we know they've succeeded? Well, let's set the bar at least 5 cars. And boom, there it is. When given miniature cars, the child will count at least 5 cars. A perfect behavioral objective. It's clear, it's specific, and it's totally measurable.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. You see the materials, the cars, and the caption gives you that exact, unambiguous goal. Anyone could walk into a room with this objective and know precisely what to do and what to look for. That's the real power of this whole method.
So we've learned the formula, but let's just circle back for a second. Why should we even bother doing this? Why does getting this specific with our goals matter so much?
Well, it's because this level of clarity, it changes everything. First, it makes learning visible. You can actually see it happen. It also lets you know if each and every child met the goal, not just a general sense of the room. It means your intentions are communicated perfectly to anyone who helps you. And honestly, when you have such a clear target, it makes planning the right activities to get there so much easier.
And that pretty much brings us to the end. But the real power here isn't just in knowing the formula, it's in actually using it. So I want to leave you with this question. Think about a lesson you're planning. What's one goal you have that you could transform with this simple formula? Conditions, behavior, and degree, and bring a whole new level of clarity to your teaching tomorrow.